So over the past week, we've gone through most of the global tapestry. Today, we cover the final two sections, Africa and Europe. Let's start with the more important of the two, Africa. That's right, Africa. Your teacher may have gone way overboard on Europe here, but it's just not necessary. A lot of elderly Americans like myself were brought up in a world where all history was seen through the point of view of Europe. If that's your thing, take AP Euro. But this is AP World Modern. No region will make up more than 20% of the exam. Plus, we get plenty of Europe in units 3 through 9, so let's focus on Africa. 1.6 is going to give you a quick tour of the major states in Africa from 1200 to 1450. There are 3 major spots. And you know I made a map. First, Mali. This technically isn't brought up until 2.4 in the Trans-Saharan trade route, but 1.5 is state building in Africa, and Mali is one of the most important states in Africa we'll talk about all year. But you need to view Mali as the greatest benefactor of that Trans-Saharan trade. It brought sub-Saharan Africa into the greater trade network that the College Board calls the global tapestry. Mali controlled the valuable gold and salt trade, and was even famously led by the richest man of all time, Mansa Musa. You know Mansa Musa, the guy who's Hajj to Mecca, where he spent so much gold that Mali and its capital Timbuktu were officially woven into the global tapestry. They're not just connected by a trade route. Islam becomes the predominant religion in the Empire of Mali, giving it even more ties to Dar al-Islam to the north. Ibn Battuta even took his final trip across the Sahara Desert to visit cities like Timbuktu and Gao. Second, Ethiopia. If we head to the east side of Africa, we find a very different empire. Whereas Mali was Islamic, Ethiopia is Christian, and it was built along the east side of Africa, connecting it to that Indian Ocean trade network that we'll mention next week. Ethiopia will come back to us in Unit 6 and Unit 8 when we talk about the industrialized Europeans coming in and taking over all of Africa. Well, all but one spot, Ethiopia. It's even been said that Ethiopia may be the inspiration for Marvel's Wakanda. 3, Great Zimbabwe. This is the largest African structure south of the pyramids. When the Europeans found it abandoned in 1531, they were so impressed they were like, whoa, this is awesome. I can't believe white people used to live this far south. Now, Great Zimbabwe and the regions around it were pre-literate, which means most of what we know about them comes via archaeology. Think of them as also playing into that Indian Ocean trade network as they traded eastward towards the Indian Ocean. Think of them as more of an extension of the Indian Ocean trade network as they served as a center of trade towards the east to the Swahili coast. I mean, look at these bricks, right? No mortar. You can't even build Legos right. These guys are using flat bricks. Okay, fine. Let's talk about Europe. Your teacher's probably like, Magna Carta, the Vikings, the Hanseatic League. Nah, not necessary. Let me save you some time. Focus on one thing, feudalism. Rome is gone, Europe is fragmented, and everything in Europe is very local. There are monarchies, but they're super decentralized. So think of feudalism as the system of relationships where one person grants land in return for military obligation. You're a lord. King grants you some land. If some other king invades, you have to then defend that land for your king. No war? Cool. You have all these people here that are going to be working for you. But when the war happens, they go from workers to soldiers and you must defend the king. When they're not fighting, they're working in and around the manor. Now, the manor is the large house where the lord lives. The system of work around the manor is known as manorialism. Think of manorialism as the actual work of feudalism as seen happening in real time on the lord's manor. One other thing the College Board also brings up, serfdom. When you get to Unit 4, obviously, coercive labor is a huge deal, but that doesn't mean it was invented in Unit 4, serfdom. So at that lowest level of manorialism and at the bottom of the feudal scale, you run into serfs. Serfs are coerced labor that are tied to the land and treated almost as property. So I say in class, you always need to think of them as like a feature of the property. Like if you're going to buy a house and it has a swimming pool, that's like a feature of the house. The same thing, like, oh, this manor comes with like 50 serfs. Do you own the serfs? Not technically, but you do own the land that they're tied to, so therefore they're going to work for you. So the whole feudal thing is reciprocal, where the lord grants a fief of land to someone in return for protection and labor. It sounds miserable. There is other European stuff that will help you out, but it's not brought up till later. I'm talking about like the Crusades, the Plague, Marco Polo. That's it. Done with Unit 1. We'll spend one more day with the MVP of the global tapestry tomorrow.